a little touch of Harry in the night. And so our scene must to the battle fly, where, oh, for pity, we shall much disgrace, with 4 or few most vile and ragged foils, right ill disposed in brawl ridiculous, the name of Agincourt, yet sit and see, minding true things by what their mockeries be. Enter the King, Bedford and Gloucester. King, Gloucester, 'tis true that we are in great danger. The greater therefore should our courage be. God more, O brother Bedford, God Almighty. There is some soul of goodness in things you will. Would men observingly distill it out? For our bad neighbour makes versus early stirrers, which is both healthful and good husbandry. Besides, they are our outward consciences, and preachers to these all, admonishing that we should dress versus fairly for our end. Thus may we gather honey from the weed, and make a moral of the deal himself. Enter Erpingham. Good morrow, old Sir Thomas Erpingham. A good soft pillow for that good white head were better than a churlish turf of France. Erping, not so my liege, this lodging likes me better, since I may say, now lie I like a king. King, 'tis good for men to allow their present pains. Vipon example, so the spirit is eased, and when the mind is quickened out of doubt, the organs, though defunct and dead before, break VP their drowsy graw and newly moo, with casted slew and fresh legerity. Lend me thy cloak, Sir Thomas, brothers both. Commend me to the princes in our camp. Do my good morrow to them, and anon desire them all to my poilion. Gloucester, we shall, my liege. Erping, shall I attend your grace? King, no, my good knight. Go with my brothers to my lords of England. I in my bosom must debate a while, and then I would no other company. Erping, the Lord in Hohen bless thee, noble. Harry. Exeunt. King, God a mercy, old heart, thou speak'st cheerfully. Enter Pistol. Pist, chivus la. King, a friend. Pist, discuss vnto me, art thou officer or art thou base, common and popular? King, I am a gentleman of a company. Pist, trailst thou the puissant pike? King, you and so, what are you? Pist, as good a gentleman as the emperor. King, then you are a better than the king. Pist, the king's a bokak and a heart of gold, lad of life and impair fame of parents good of fist. Most valiant, I kiss his dirty shoe and from heartstring I low the lowly bully, what is thy name? King, Harry Leroy. Pist, Leroy, a Cornish name, art thou of Cornish crew? King, no, I am a Welchman. Pist, know'st thou Florlan? King, yes. Pist, tell him I'll knock his leek about his pate vipon. Doys day. King, do not you wear your dagger in your cap? That day least he knock that about yours. Pist, art thou his friend? King, and his kinsman too. Pist, the fee go for thee then. King, I thank you, God be with you. Pist, my name is Pistol called. Enter. King, it sorts well with your fierceness. Man it, King. Enter Flewlin and Gower. Gower, Captain Flewlins. Flewds, so in the name of Isu Christ speak fewer. It is the greatest admiration in the venuous world, when the true and ancient prerogatives and laws of the wars is not kept. If you would take the pains but to examine the wars of Pompey the Great, you shall find, I warrant you, that there is no tittle-tadle nor pibble-babble in Pompey's camp. I warrant you, you shall find the ceremonies of the wars, and the cares of it, and the forms of it, and the sobriety of it, and the modesty of it to be otherwise. Gower, why the enemy is low, you hear him all. Knight. Flew, if the enemy is an assair and a fool and a prating coxcomb, Is it meet, think you, that we should also look you be an assair and a fool and a prating coxcomb in your own conscience now? Gow, I will speak lower. Flew, I pray you and beseech you that you will enter. King, though it appear a little out of fashion, there is much care and valour in this Welchman. Enter 3 soldiers, Ione Bates, Alexander Court and Michael Williams. Court, brother Ione Bates, is not that the morning which breaks yonder? Bates, I think it be, but we ha no great cause to desire the approach of day. Williams, we see yonder the beginning of the day, but I think we shall newer see the end of it. Who goes there? King, a friend. Williams, viender, what captain serve you? King, viender Sir Ione Erpingham. Williams, a good old commander and a most kind gentleman. I pray you, what thinks he of our estate? King, you and his men racked vipon a sand that look to be washed off the next tide. Bates, he hath not told his thought to the king. King, no, nor it is not meet he should. For though I speak it to you, I think the king is but a man as I am. The violet smells to him as it doth to me. The element shows to him as it doth to me. All his senses haw but humane conditions. His ceremonies laid by, in his nakedness he appears but a man. And though his affections are higher mounted than ours, yet when they stoop with the like wing. Therefore when he sees reason of fears as we do, his fears out of doubt be of the same relish as ours are. Yet in reason no man should possess him with any appearance of fear, lest he by showing it should dishearten his army. Bates, he may show what outward courage he will, but I believe you as cold a knight as tease, he could wish himself in Thames VP to the neck, and so I would he were, and I by him at all adventures, so we were quit here. King, by my troth I will speak my conscience of the king, I think he would not wish himself anywhere, but where he is. Bates, then I would he were here alone, so should he be sure to be ransomed, and a many poor men's lieu sawed. King, I dare say you allow him not so ill to wish him here alone. Howsoever you speak this to feel other men's minds, methinks I could not die anywhere so contented, as in the king's company, his cause being erst and his quarrel honourable. Williams, that's more than we know. Bates, I or more than we should seek after, for we know enough if we know we are the king's subjects. If his cause be wrong, our obedience to the king wipes the crime of it out of these. Williams, but if the cause be not good, the king himself hath a holy reckoning to make, when all those legs and arms and heads chopped off in a battle shall iron together at the latter day, and cry all we died at such a place, some swearing, some crying for a surgeon, some vipon their weus left poor behind them, some vipon the debts they owe, some vipon their children rawly left. I am afeard there are few die well that die in a battle, for how can they charitably dispose of anything when blood is their argument? Now if these men do not die well, it will be a black matter for the king that led them to it, who to disobey were against all proportion of subjection. King, so if a son that is by his father sent about merchandise, do sinfully miscarry vipon the sea, the imputation of his wickedness by your rule should be imposed vipon his father that sent him, or if a servant viender his master's command, transporting a sum of money, be assailed by robbers and die in many irreconciled iniquities, you may call the business of the master the author of the servant's damnation. But this is not so. The king is not bound to answer the particular endings of his soldiers, the father of his son, nor the master of his servant, for they purpose not their death when they purpose their services. Besides, there is no king, be his cause newer so spotless, if it come to the arbitrament of swords, can try it out with all spotted soldiers. Some, peradventure, whore on them the guilt of premeditated and contrived murder, some, of beguiling virgins with the broken seals of periuri, some making the wars their bulwark that whore before gored the gentle bosom of peace with pillage and robbery. Now if these men whore defeated the law and outrun natiu punishment, though they can outstrip men, they whore no wings to fly from God. War is his beadle, war is his vengeance, so that here men are punished, for before breach of the king's laws in now the king's quarrel, where they feared the death they whore borne life away, and where they would be safe they perish. Then if they die vien proided, no more is the king guilty of their damnation, then he was before guilty of those impieties, for the which they are now visited. Uri subject's duty is the king's, but Uri subject's soul is his own. Therefore should Uri soldier in the wars do as Uri sick man in his bed, wash Uri moth out of his conscience, and dying so death is to him a duentage, or not dying the time was blessedly lost, wherein such preparation was gained, and in him that escapes it were not sin to think that making God so free an offer, he let him outlive that day to see his greatness, and to teach others how they should prepare. Will, 'tis certain Uri man that dies ill the ill vipan. His own head the king is not to answer it. Bates, I do not desire he should answer for me, and yet I determined to fight lustily for him. King, I myself heard the king say he would not be ransomed. Will, he said so to make verses fight cheerfully, but when our throats are cut he may be ransomed and we near the wiser. King, if I leave you to see it, I will newer trust his word after. Will, you pay him then, that's a perilous shot out of an elder gun that a poor and a prewate displeasure can doe against a monarch. You may as well go about to turn the sun to is with fanning in his face with a peacock's feather. You le newer trust his word after. Come, 'tis a foolish saying. King, your reproof is something too round. I should be angry with you if the time were convenient. Will, let it be a quarrel between these if you Leo. King, I embrace it. Will, how shall I know the again? King, do you me any gage of thine and I will wear it in my bonnet, then if you or thou darst acknowledge it, I will make it my quarrels. Will, here's my glow, do you me another of thine? King, there. Will, this will I also wear in my cap. If you or thou come to me, and say after tomorrow this is my glow, by this hand I will take thee a box on the ear. King, if you or I leave you to see it, I will challenge it. Will, thou darst as well be hanged. King, well I will do it though I take thee in the king's company. Will, keep thy word, fare thee well. Bates, be friends you English fools, be friends. We haw French quarrels eno if you could tell how to reckon. Exit soldiers. King, indeed the French may lay 20 French crowns to one, they will beat these for they bear them on their shoulders, but it is no English treason to cut French crowns, and tomorrow the king himself will be a clipper. Vipon the king, let versus our lius our souls. Our debts our careful we use. Our children and our sins lay on the king. We must bear all. O hard condition, twin born with greatness. Subject to the breath of Uri fool whose sense no more can feel but his own ringing. What infinite heartsease must kings neglect, that preuate men enjoy? And what haw kings that preuates haw not too? So ceremony, so general ceremony. And what art thou, thou idle ceremony? What kind of God art thou, that suffers thee more of mortal griefs than do thy worshippers? What are thy rents, what are thy calmings in? O ceremony, show me but thy worth. What is thy soul of odoration? Art thou aught else but place, degree and form, creating awe and fear in other men, wherein thou art less happy being feared than they in fearing? What drink'st thou oft, instead of homage sweet, but poisoned flattery? O be sick great greatness, and bid thy ceremony do you the cure. Think'st thou the fiery fewer will go out with titles blown from adulation? Will it do you place to flexure and low bending? Canst thou, when thou command'st the beggar's knee, command the health of it? Know thou proud dream, that plays so subtly with a king's repose. I am a king that find thee, and I know 'tis not the balmy, the sceptre and the bowl, the sword, the mace, the crown imperial, the intertissued robe of gold and pearl, the fast title running for the king, the throne he sits on, nor the tide of pomp that beats Vipon the high shore of this world. No, not all these thrice gorgeous ceremony, not all these laid in bed majestical, can sleep so soundly as the wretched slaw, who with a body filled and vacant mind gets him to rest, crammed with distressful bread, newer sees horrid night, the child of hell, but like a lacquey from the rise to set, sweats in the eye of Phoebus, and all night sleeps in Elysium, next day after dawn doth rise and help Hyperio to his horse, and follows so the running year, with profitable labour to his graw, and but for ceremony such a wretch, winding days with toil, and nights with sleep, had the forehand and vantage of a king, the slaw a member of the country's peace, enjoys it but in gross brain little wots what watch the king keeps to maintain the peace, whose hours the peasant best advantages. Enter Erpingham. My lord, your nobles earless of your absence, seek through your camp to find you. King, good old knight, collect them all together. At my tent I'll be before thee. I shall do't, my lord. Enter. King, O God of battles, steel my soldiers' hearts. Possess them not with fear, take from them now the sense of reckoning of opposed numbers. Pluck their hearts from them, not today, O Lord. O not today, think not upon the fault my father made in compassing the crown. I Richard's body hore interred knew, and on it hore bestowed more contrite tears. Then from it issued forced drops of blood. Few hundred poor I hore in yearly pay, who twice a day their withered hands hold toward Hoen to pardon blood. And I hore built 2 chauntries, where the sad and solemnly priests sing still. For Richard's soul, more will I do, though all that I can do is nothing worth, since that my penitence comes after all, imploring pardons. Enter Gloucester. Glauc my liege. King, my brother Gloucester's voice, I know thy errand, I will go with thee. The day, my friend, and all things stay for me. Exeunt. Enter the Dolphin, Orleans, Ramburs, and Beaumont. Orleans, the sun doth gild our armour, my lords. Dolph Montecheul, my horse Verlot lackey. Hosd. Orleans, O bra spirit. Dolph via les use and tear. Orleans, rien puis la air and few. Dolph seen cousin Orleans. Enter Constable. Now my lord Constable, Const, hark how our steeds for present Ceruis neigh. Dolph, mount them and make incision in their hides, that their hot blood may spin in English eyes. Endout them with superfluous courage, ha! Ram, what will you whore them weep our horses' blood? How shall we then behold their natural tears? Enter Messenger. Messeng, the English are embattled, you French. Peers. Canst, to horse you gallant princes, straight to horse. Do but behold yond poor and styrude band, and your fair show shall suck away their souls, lowing them but the shales and husks of men. There is not work enough for all our hands, scarce blood enough in all their sickly veins, to dew each naked curtlick sustain, that our French gallants shall today draw out, and sheath for lack of sport, let these but blow on them. The vapour of our valour will return them. 'Tis positive you against all exceptions, lords, that our superfluous laquis and our peasants, who in VN necessary action swarm about our squares of battle were to purge this field of such a hilding foe, though we vipon this mountain's basis by, took stand for idle speculation, but that our honours must not, what's to say, a very little let versus do, and all is done, then let the trumpet sound, the tucket sonuance and the note to mount, for our approach shall so much dare the field, that England shall couch down in fear and yield. Enter Grand Prix. Grand Prix, why do you stay so long, my lords of France? Yond Illand Carians, desperate of their bones. Chapter 99, forwardly become the morning field. Their ragged curtains poorly are let loose, and our air shakes them passing scornfully. Big Mars seems bankrupt in their beggared host, and faintly through a rusty buer peeps. The horsemen sit like fixed candlesticks, with torch stores in their hand, and their poor eyelids lob down their heads, dropping the hides and hips, the gum down roping from their pale dead eyes, and in their pale dull mouths the ear-mold bit lies foul with chawed grass, still and motionless, and their executors, the noish crows, fly aree them all, impatient for their haray. Description cannot suit itself in words to demonstrate the life of such a battle, in life so leerless as it shows itself. Canst they horsed their prayers, and they stay for death. Dolph, shall we go send them dinners and fresh suits, and giu their fasting horses prowender, and after fight with them? Canst I stay but for my guard? On to the field I will the banner from a trumpet take, and via see it for my haste. Come, come away. The sun is high, and we outwear the day. Exeunt. Enter Gloucester, Bedford, Exeter, Erpingham with all his host, Salisbury and Westmoreland. Glauc, where is the king? Bedf, the king himself is rode to view their battle. West, of fighting men they haw full 70,000. Exe, there's few to one, besides they all are fresh. Salisp, God's arms strike with these, 'tis a fearful odds. God by you princes all, I'll to my charge. If we no more meet, till we meet in Hohen, then eyefully, my noble lord of Bedford, my dear Lord Gloucester, and my good Lord Exeter, and my kind kinsmen, warriors all, adieu. Bedf, farewell good Salisbury, and good luck go with thee. And yet I do thee wrong to mind thee of it, for thou art framed of the firm truth of valour. Exe, farewell kind lord, fight valiantly today. Bedf, he is as full of valour as of kindness, princely in both. Enter the king. West, oh that we now had here but 10,000 of those men in England that do no work today. King, what's he that wishes so? My cousin Westmoreland, no, my fair cousin. If we are marked to die, we are eno to do our country loss, and if to liu, the fewer men, the greater share of honour. God's will, I pray thee, wish not one man more. By Io, I am not covetous for gold, nor care I who doth feed thee pon my cost. It yearns me not if men my garments wear. Such outward things dwell not in my desires. But if it be a sin to covet honour, I am the most offending soul aliu. No, faith, my coos, wish not a man from England. God's peace, I would not lose so great an honour, as one man more methinks would share from me. For the best hope I haw, oh, do not wish one more. Rather proclaim it, Westmoreland, through my host, that he which hath no stomach to this fight, let him depart, his passport shall be made, and crowns for connoy put into his purse. We would not die in that man's company, that fears his fellowship, to die with versus. This day is called the feast of Crispin. He that outlius this day, and comes safe home, will stand a tiptoe when this day is named, and rose him at the name of Crispin. He that shall see this day, and liu old age, will yearly on the vigil feast his neighbours, and say, tomorrow is Saint Crispin. Then will he strip his liu, and show his scars. Old men forget, yet all shall be forgot. But he'll remember with advantages what feats he did that day, then shall our names, familiar in his mouth as household words, Harry the King, Bedford and Exeter, Warwick and Talbot, Salisbury and Gloucester, be in their flowing cups freshly remembered. This story shall the good man teach his son, and Crispin shall ne'er go by, from this day to the ending of the world, but we in it shall be remembered. We few, we happy few, we band of brothers, for he today that sheds his blood with me, shall be my brother, be he ne'er so vile. This day shall gentle his condition, and gentlemen in England now abed, shall think themselves accursed they were not here, and hold their manhoods cheap, whiles any speaks, that fought with vis vipon Saint Crispin's day. Enter Salisbury. Sal, my sour reign lord, bestow yourself with speed. The French are brawly in their battles set, and will with all expedients charge on versus. King, all things are ready if our minds be so. West, perish the man whose mind is backward now. King, thou dost not wish more help from England. Cause. West, God's will, my liege, would you and I alone, without more help, could fight this royal battle. King, why now thou hast wished few thousand men, which likes me better than to wish versus one. You know your places, God be with you all. Tucket, enter Monteoy. Mont, once more I come to know of thee, King Harry. If for thy ransom thou wilt now compound, before thy most assured hour throw, for certainly thou art so near the gulf, thou needs must be inglutted, besides in mercy. The constable desires thee, thou wilt mind thy followers of repentance, that their souls may make a peaceful and a sweet retire from off these fields, where wretches their poor bodies must lie and fester. King, who hath sent thee now? Mont, the constable of France. King, I pray thee bear my former answer back. Bid them attue me, and then sell my bones. Good God, why should they mock poor fellows thus? The man that once did sell the Leonsk, while the beast Leud was killed with hunting him. A many of our bodies shall no doubt find Natiu Gros, vipon the which I trust, shall witness Liu in brass of this day's work, and those that low their valiant bones in France, dying like men though buried in your dunghills, they shall be famed, for there the sun shall greet them, and draw their honours reeking VP to Hohen, lowing their earthly parts to choke your clime, the smell whereof shall breed a plague in France. Mark then abounding valour in our English, that being dead like to the bullets crazing, break out into a second course of mischief, killing in relapse of mortality. Let me speak proudly, tell the constable, we are but warriors for the working day. Our gayness and our guilt are all besmirched with rainy marching in the painful field. There's not a piece of feather in our host. Good argument, I hope, we will not fly, and time hath worn these into slowenry. But by the mass our hearts are in the trim, and my poor soldiers tell me, yet ere night, they'll be in fresher robes, or they will pluck the gay new coats awry the French soldiers' heads, and turn them out of Cerois, if they do this, as if God please they shall. My ransom then will soon be louied. Herald, saw thou thy labour, come thou no more for ransom, gentle herald. They shall haw none, I swear, but these my eints, which if they haw, as I will low vm them, shall yield them little. Tell the constable, Mont, I shall King Harry, and so fare thee well. Thou newer shalt hear herald any more. Enter. King, I fear thou wilt once more come Agincourt. Ransom. Enter York. York, my lord, most humbly on my knee I beg the leading of the voward. Kings, take it, braw York. Now soldiers march away. and how thou pleasest God dispose the day. Exeunt. Alarum excursions, enter pistole French soldier boy. Pist yield cur. French, I pense que vous êtes le gentilhomme de bonne qualité. Pist qualtity kami customy, art thou a gentleman? What is thy name? Discuss. French, O seigneur Dieu. Pist, O seigneur du should be a gentleman. Perpend my words, O seigneur du, and mark. O seigneur du, thou diest on point of fox, except O seigneur thou do giu to me egregious ransom. French, O prens misericordi I pites de moi. Pist, moi shall not seru, I will haw 40 mois, for I will fetch thy rim out at thy throat, in drops of crimson blood. French, est il impossible échapper la force de ton bras. Pist brass cur, thou damned and luxurious mountain. Goat offers to me brass. French, O pardon moi. Pist says to thou me so, is that a ton of mois? Come hither boy, ask me this law in French what is his name. Boy, escout comment est vous appelle. French, Monsieur Lefeur. Boy, he says his name is Emfer. Pist, Emfer, I'll fur him and ferret him. Discuss the same in French, vnto him. Boy, I do not know the French for fur and ferret and furk. Pist, bid him prepare, for I will cut his throat. French, que dit il Monsieur? Boy, il me command a vous dire que vous faites vous. Prest, car si soldat ici est disposi, tout ustre redecoups voster. Gorge. Pist, oui couple gorge permafoy peasant, vien lest thou giu me crowns, bra crowns, or mangled shalt thou be by this my sword. French, O I vous supply pour el amour de Dieu. Ma partner I sways le gentilhomme de bon mason, garde ma vie, and I vous donnerai du cent escus. Pist, what are his words? Boy, he prays you to saw his life, he is a gentleman of a good house, and for his ransom he will giu you 200 crowns. Pist, tell him my fury shall abate, and I the crowns will take. Friend, petit monsieur que dit il. Boy, encore quil et contra son irrement, de pardoner aucune. Prisoner, nientmans pour les excuses que vous later promets. Il est content a vous dans le libert le franchisement. Free, sermis genus si vous dans mills remercius et I me estim hurex quae tom, entre les mains de vien tulia. I pense le plus bro valiant et tres distime signia. D. Angleterra. Pist, expound vnto me boy. Boy, he gius you vipon his knees 1,000 thanks, and he esteems himself happy that he hath fallen into the hands of one, as he thinks, the most braw, valorous, and thrice worthy seigneur of England. Pist, as I suck blood I will some mercy show, follow me. Boys, saw you vous le grand capitaine, I did never know so full a voice issue from so empty a heart, but the saying is true, the empty vessel makes the greatest sound. Bardolph and Nym had 10 times more valour than this roaring deal I'th oldie play, that Ury one may pare his nails with a wooden dagger and they are both hanged, and so would this be if he durst steal anything adulterously. I must stay with the lackeys with the luggage of our camp. The French might whore a good prey of these if he knew of it, for there is none to guard it but boys. Enter. Enter Constable, Orleans, Bourbon, Dolphin, and Rambures. Con, O diables. Orl, O signoria et perdia, tout et perdi. Dull, mordia mavai, all is confounded all. Reproach and everlasting shame sits marking in our plumes. A short alarum. O méchante fortune, do not run away. Con, why all our ranks are broke. Dull, O perdurable shame, let's stab ourselves. Be these the wretches that we plaid at dice for? Or is this the king we sent to for his ransom? Shame and eternal shame, nothing but shame. Let these die in once more Battle of Agincourt. And he that will not follow Bourbon now, let him go hence and with his cap in hand, like a base pander hold the chamber door, whilst a base slaw, no gentler than my dog, his fairest daughter is contaminated. Con, disorder that hath spoiled V's friend versus now. Let V's on heaps go offer VP our lius. All we are eno yet liuing in the field, to smother VP the English in our throngs. If any order might be thought VPan. The deal take order now, I'll to the throng. Let life be short, else shame will be too long. Enter. Alarum, enter the king and his train with prisoners. King, well haw we done, thrice valiant countrymen. But all's not done, yet keep the French the field. Exe, the D of York commends him to your majesty. King, lius he good v and seekly, thrice within this hour. I saw him down, thrice VP again and fighting. From helmet to the spur all blood he was. Exe, in which array braw soldier doth he lie, larding the plain, and by his bloody side. Yoke fellow to his honour rowing wounds. The noble Earl of Suffolk also lies. Suffolk first died, and York all haggled hour. Comes to him where in gore he lay ensteeped, and takes him by the beard, kisses the gashes. That bloodily did yawn VPan his face. He cries aloud, Tarry my cause in Suffolk. My soul shall thine keep company to Hoen. Tarry sweet soul for mine then fly abreast. As in this glorious and well-foughten field, we kept together in our chiualry. VPan these words I came, and cheered him VP. He smilled me in the face, wrought me his hand, and with a feeble gripe says, Dear my lord, commend my Ceruis to my sour Rainy. So did he turn and our Suffolk's neck. He threw his wounded arm and kissed his lips, and so espoused to death with blood he sealed. A testament of noble ending Lao. The pretty and sweet manner of it forked those waters from me which I would haw stopped. But I had not so much of man in me, and all my mother came into mine eyes, and gaw me VP to tears. King, I blame you not, for hearing this I must perforce compound, with mixedful eyes or they will issue to alarum. But hark, what new alarum is this same? The French Horian forked their scattered men. Then Ury soldier kill his prisoners. Gu the word through. Exit. Actus quartus. Enter Fluelin and Gower. Flew, kill the poise and the luggage. Tease expressly against the law of arms. Tease as errant a piece of nowery, mark you now, as can be offered in your conscience now, is it not? Gow. 'Tis certain there's not a boy left aliu, and the cowardly rascals that ran from the battle ha done this slaughter. Besides they haw burned and carried away all that was in the king's tent, wherefore the king most worthily hath coused Ury's soldier to cut his prisoner's throat. Oh, 'tis a gallant king. Flew, he was born at Monmouth, Captain Gower. What call you the town's name where Alexander the pig was born? Gow, Alexander the Great. Flew, why I pray you is not pig great. The pig, or the great, or the mighty, or the huge, or the magnanimous are all one reckonings, so the phrase is a little variations. Gower, I think Alexander the Great was born in Macedon, his father was called Philip of Macedon, as I take it. Flew, I think it is in Macedon where Alexander is born. I tell you, Captain, if you look in the maps of the old, I warrant you soul find in the comparisons between Macedon and Monmouth, that the situations look you is both alike. There is a rewer in Macedon, and there is also more a rewer at Monmouth. It is called why at Monmouth, but it is out of my brains what is the name of the other rewer. But 'tis all one, 'tis alike as my fingers is to my fingers, and there is salmons in both. If you mark Alexander's life well, Harry of Monmouth's life is come after it indifferent well, for there is figures in all things. Alexander God knows, and you know in his rages and his furies and his wraths and his chollers and his moods and his displeasures and his indignations, and also being a little intoxicates in his prains, did in his ales and his angers, look you, kill his best friend Clitus. Gow, our king is not like him in that, he never killed any of his friends. Flew, it is not well done, mark you now, to take the tales out of my mouth ere it is made and finished. I speak but in the figures and comparisons of it. As Alexander killed his friend Clitus, being in his ales and his cups, so also Harry Monmouth, being in his right wits and his good eargements, turned away the fat knight with the great belly doublet. He was full of easts and jips and noweries and marks, I haw forgot his name. Gow, Sir John Falstaff. Flew, that is he. I'll tell you there is good men porn at Monmouth. Gow, here comes his majesty. Alarum, enter King Harry and Bourbon with prisoners. Flourish. King, I was not angry since I came to France. Vien till this instant, take a trumpet herald. Ride thou Viento the horsemen on yond hill. If they will fight with these, bid them come down. Or void the field, they do offend our sight. If they'll do neither, we will come to them, and make them scur away, as swift as stones, enforced from the old Assyrian slings. Besides, we'll cut the throats of those we haw, and not a man of them that we shall take shall taste our mercy. Go and tell them so. Enter Montioy. Here comes the herald of the French, my liege. Glue, his eyes are humbler than they vest to be. King, how now, what means this herald? Know'st thou not that I haw find these bones of mine for ransom? Comest thou again for ransom? Her no great king. I come to thee for charitable license, that we may wander o'er this bloody field, to book our dead and then to bury them, to sort our nobles from our common men. For many of our princes, woe the while, lie drowned and soaked in mercenary blood. So do our vulgar drench their peasant limbs in blood of princes, and with wounded steeds fret fetlock deep in gore, and with wilder rage yerk out their armed heels at their dead masters, killing them twice. O Gu versus lo great king, to view the field in safety and dispose of their dead bodies. Kin, I tell thee truly, herald, I know not if the day be ours or no, for yet a many of your horsemen peer and gallop o'er the field. Her, the day is yours. Kin, praised be God and not our strength for it. What is this castle called that stands hard by? Her, they call it Agincourt. King, then call we this the field of Agincourt, fought on the day of Crispin Crispianus. Flew, your grandfather of famous memory, an't please your majesty, and your great viencly Edward the placky Prince of Wales, as I haw read in the chronicles, fought a most pro battle here in France. Kin, they did Florlan. Flew, your majesty says very true. If your majesties is remembered of it, the Welchmen did good service in a garden where leeks did grow, wearing leeks in their Monmouth caps, which your majesty know to this hour is an honourable badge of the Cerois, and I do believe your majesty takes no scorn to wear the leek vipipon est toys day. King, I wear it for a memorable honour, for I am Welch, you no good countryman. Flew, all the water in Wye cannot wash your majesties. Welsh plewed out of your pody, I can tell you that. God bless it and preserve it, as long as it pleases his grace and his majesty too. Kin, thanks good my countrymen. Flew, by issue I am your majesty's countryman, I care not who know it. I will confess it to all the world, I need not to be ashamed of your majesty. Praised be God so long as your majesty is an honest man. King, good keep me so. Enter Williams. Our heralds go with him. Bring me earst notice of the numbers dead. On both our parts, call yonder fellow hither. Soldier, you must come to the king. Kin, soldier, why wear'st thou that glow in the cap? Will, an't please your majesty, 'tis the gage of one, that I should fight withal if he be aliu. Kin, an Englishman. Will, an't please your majesty, a rascal that swaggered with me last night, who if aliu and you dare to challenge this glow, I horsworn to take him a boxeth air, or if I can see my glow in his cap, which he swore as he was a soldier he would wear if aliu, I will strike it out soundly. Kin, what think you, Captain Flulen, is it fit this soldier keep his oath? Flew, he is a crawn and a villain else an't please. Your Majesty in my conscience. King, it may be, his enemy is a gentleman of great sort quite from the answer of his degree. Flew, though he be as good a gentleman as the Deul is, as Lucifer and Beelzebub himself, it is necessary, look your grace, that he keep his vow and his oath. If he be period, see you now, his reputation is as errant a villain and a iaki sauce, as you are his blacky shoe trod vipon God's ground, and his earth in my conscience law king. Then keep thy vow, sirrah, when thou meet'st the fellow. Will, so I will, my liege, as I lear you. King, who serust thou viender? Will, viender Captain Gower, my liege. Flew, Gower is a good captain and is good knowledge and literature in the wars. King, call him hither to me, soldier. Will, I will, my liege. Enter. King, here Flulen, wear thou this for me and stick it in thy cap. When Alanson and myself were down together, I plucked this glow from his helmy. If any man challenge this, he is a friend to Alanson and an enemy to our person. If thou encounter any such, apprehend him, and thou doest me low. Flew, your grace does me as great honours as can be desired in the hearts of his subjects. I would fain see the man that has but 2 legs that shall find himself aggrieved at this glow. That is all, but I would fain see it once, and please God of his grace that I might see. King, know'st thou Gower? Flew, he is my dear friend and please you. King, pray thee go seek him and bring him to my tent. Flew, I will fetch him. Enter. King, my lord of Warwick and my brother Gloucester. Follow Flulen closely at the heels. The glow which I hold you in him for a four may haply purchase him a boxeth ear. It is the soldier's, I by bargain should wear it myself, follow good cousin Warwick. If that the soldier strike him, as I eared, by his blunt bearing he will keep his word. Some sardine mischief may arise of it, for I do know Flulen valiant, entucked with collar, hot as gunpowder, and quickly will return an injury. Follow and see there be no harm between them. Go you with me, Vn Seekly of Exeter. Exeunt. Enter Gower and Williams. Will, I warrant it is tonight you captain. Enter Fluland. Flew, God's will and his pleasure, captain, I beseech you now come apace to the king. There is more good toward you peradventure, than is in your knowledge to dream of. Will, sir, know you this glow? Flew, know the glow, I know the glow is a glow. Will, I know this and thus I challenge it. Strikes him. Flew, blood an errant traitor as any's in the Veneosol world or in France or in England. Gower, how now, sir, you villain? Will, do you think I'll be forsworn? Flew, stand away, Captain Gower, I will gee you treason. His payment into ploughs, I warrant you. Will, I am no traitor. Flew, that's a lie in thy throat, I charge you in his Majesty's name apprehend him, he's a friend of the Duke. Alanson's. Enter Warwick and Gloucester. Warwick, how now, what's the matter? Flew, my lord of Warwick here is, praised be God for it, a most contagious treason come to light, look you as you shall desire in a summer's day. Here is his Majesty, enter King and Exeter. King, how now, what's the matter? Flew, my liege, here is a villain and a traitor. That look your grace, has struck the glow which your Majesty is take out of the helmet of Alanson. Will, my liege, this was my glow, here is the fellow of it, and he that I gore it to in change promised to wear it in his cap. I promised to strike him if he did. I met this man with my glow in his cap, and I have been as good as my word. Flew, your Majesty here now, sawing your Majesty's manhood, what an errant rascally beggarly low nor it is. I hope your Majesty is peer me testimony and witness, and will auchment that this is the glow of Alanson, that your Majesty is geu me, in your conscience now. King, geu me thy glow soldier. Look, here is the fellow of it. 'Twas I indeed thou promisedst to strike, and thou hast genuine me most bitter terms. Flew, and please your majesty, let his neck answer for it, if there is any martial law in the world. King, how canst thou make me satisfaction? Will all offences, my lord, come from the heart? Newer came any from mine, that might offend your majesty. King, it was ourself thou didst abuse. Will, your majesty came not like yourself, you appeared to me but as a common man. Witness the night your garments, your lowliness, and what your highness suffered vienda that shape. I beseech you take it for your own fault and not mine, for had you been as I took you for, I made no offence, therefore I beseech your highness pardon me. King, here vien secli Exeter, fill this glow with crowns, and gew it to this fellow, keep it fellow, and wear it for an honour in thy cap, till I do challenge it, gew him the crowns. And captain, you must needs be friends with him,